In meetings with colleges and universities, as well as consulting engagements we've done over the last few years, we've seen a large number of people have aha moments when we boil recruiting and retention down to its very simplest terms, how it impacts the bottom line of either a department or an institution. We usually see these as whole numbers or percentages of student attrition, but rarely do we translate it into actual dollars. Granted, this overly simplified calculation does not take into account a large number of influencing factors or costs, but it does quickly show us the importance of recruiting and retaining students at an institution. For our exercise, we will be using a fictional institution, Stone State University, with the data you see on the screen. To start out, let's start figuring out the number of first-time full-time freshmen lost. For this, we need to take the number of first-time full-time freshmen times the percentage of freshmen lost. At Stone State University, this looks like this. Remember this number because we'll be using it in our future calculations. Step 2, now we need to calculate the total recruiting dollars lost. We do this by taking the number of freshmen lost from step 1 and multiplying it by the cost of recruiting a student. Next, let's calculate total housing and dining dollars lost due to attrition. To do this, we take the number of freshmen from step 1 and multiply it by an annual housing contract. Now this is only for 1 year, so if you have a living requirement, you will want to factor that into your own calculation. For step 4, we're going to calculate the total tuition dollars lost due to attrition. To do this, we take the number of freshmen lost from step 1 and multiply it by the annual tuition and fees. And then we multiply it by a minimum number of years of tuition lost. For our example, we're using 3. Step 5, and our last step, is to do a grand total to take all of the previous calculations and find out what our total amount is. So we take our total recruiting dollars lost, our total housing and dining dollars lost, and our tuition lost. For Stone State University, this would calculate out to $16,391,490. Now, I don't know many colleges or universities who couldn't use an additional $16 million. But even if you think about retaining an additional 190 students, or 5%, you'll see that Stone State would see almost $5.5 million. At Capstone On-Campus Management, we know a strong housing program can greatly impact retention numbers and believe it can also help an institution grow organically, very much like a compounding interest bank account. And no, it doesn't have to be new student housing either. Would you like to know more? Contact us at contact@capstoneoncampus.com.